tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What would life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. Or is it homegrown potatoes?
Potatoes!
Hi, everybody.
Hi, happy
We're going to
Monday.
be talking spud to you. Luckily, look at us. We're outside. It's not snowing on us. I heard some of the folks out in Jackson Hole, Wyoming got 3 inches last night. We got our last snow, what, like 2 weeks ago?
No, like a week ago.
A week
and a
ago.
half
We're
ago.
hoping we're done. But potatoes, cold weather.
Well, we are going to we're going to talk about growing potatoes. It is a glorious day out here in the garden. Before we do that, since it is, Boomer, get up. Since it is so beautiful, I'm going to take you around for a tour of our garden because things are going.
Oh, the mayflies are biting.
Oh, mayflies. Okay, now I got to turn this
Black
thing
flies.
around. Alrighty.
Black flies.
So, welcome to, we put in here, these are the water walls we've been talking about. We have broccoli and cauliflower growing in here. I didn't mark anything. So we got some marigolds. You can see the water walls. Isn't there a song about that? And some and some rosemary. And you're my water wall. I'm gonna put in some geraniums, which I just bought, and which are good for the different cabbage and broccoli and such. Keep away. In here we've got spinach, and I've got my garlic. And who's in here? Another broccoli or cauliflower. And in this bed over here, plenty of garlic. We're looking forward to that. We got cabbage over here and celery. And then this is very exciting. Under the cold frame, we have asparagus. This is our second year. We just put in the asparagus bed last year. So asparagus beds can take 2 to 3 years to really establish. We can have a short harvest this year. And over here, equally excited, fun. We have strawberries also coming up. And I think I put more celery in here. I have a nasty habit of forgetting to mark things. And planted some onions over here. And over here, the smart pots we're going to be discussing. I'm just so excited that it's a nice day and we're outside. Here's another one of our beds. So things are starting to warm up. And we're getting things all established. So today we are talking about how to grow your own potatoes. Boomer, you have something to say about this?
We have our guest star, Mr. Boom Booms.
Mr. Boom Boom.
Say hello to everybody, Boomer.
He loves potatoes. Who doesn't? Boom. Okay. All right. So we love growing potatoes, and years ago when we first started, I decided not to do it the old-fashioned way because one, we didn't have enough room in our gardens. Potatoes.
The old-fashioned way is to hill.
Yeah, you could put them in your raised bed garden.
Usually, if you ever go see a garden or see any farmlands out there, you can see it looks like big mounds of dirt in long rows. And that's what it is. It's potatoes, because what you want to do with potatoes is after you plant, am I jumping ahead?
No.
After you plant them, you just put them in, and that's why these sacks are great. You just put just a little bit of dirt on top of them, and as soon as they start sprouting up, this is like the weirdest thing, but you're usually so happy to see your plants sprout up and come, and you talk to them and say how wonderful it is to see them. But in this case, you bury them.
Right, you want to bury them again, and we'll get to that. But one of the reasons that kind of forced us into the grow sacks, which I've talked about before. These are great. Little grow sacks that come in different sizes.
It's made out of this stuff. If you've ever seen them landscapers, if they bring the balls of a tree, they wrap the roots around in that black permeable cloth. That's really what this is. It lets water in, lets air in and out.
The roots can go through the bag, so if it's on your lawn or if you have it somewhere, the roots will continue. They won't get bunched up or get, what's it called when they circle around? Root bound. So,
why does he have bird seed all over him?
Oh God, I don't know. So, anyway, but Mark loves growing tomatoes primarily, and as gardeners, we
have you noticed from the song, perhaps?
Right, exactly. And the problem is, though, tomatoes and potatoes can suffer from the same blight. So growing them in the same garden together is not recommended, because if something goes wrong, you can wipe out your whole crop of both your potatoes and your tomatoes. So that I really wanted to grow homegrown potatoes.
Homegrown potatoes.
Since I'm a potato eater.
She's a potato eater.
And
ain't nothing
so
sweeter.
we started with the smart pot. So boom, you gotta move. So basically, the easiest and quickest way, that we did this is just to, fill up the bottoms.
Do you get potato seeds? Where do I buy potato seeds?
Right, good question.
Thank you. We'll pause for a musical interlude. Hey. I'll be here all week. Don't forget your waiters and waitresses. Try the veal.
All right, well, so here's the deal. Stop, sit.
I thought she was talking to me.
Not this time. So you want to get seed potatoes. You don't want to use potatoes that you got at the grocery store or something like that. That's just risky. You don't know where it's come from. If you start with a good seed potato, then you buy them once, and then you save your results from the year before, some of them, and then
Interesting. I was in Agway this morning. It's our agricultural feed store in the area, and they had big bags of seed potatoes out.
Right. So, or if you're near an Agway, you can go grab some of that. I ordered some earlier in the season these are from John Sheeper's Kitchen Garden Seeds. Shout out to them. We don't get any money from that, but I like their stuff. And so I ordered a whole bunch of different potatoes. That's the other thing. When you grow your own potatoes, and this is much like everything else, the variety. Oh my God. Ooh, look at that.
Oh, little purple ones we get sometimes.
Look at that. See, now you want to see potatoes that have these. Now I'm going to have to cut these out. You
don't want to see that in the ones you got from your supermarket.
No, but you want that in a seed potato, because that's the start of your potato. So here, you do that while I talk. Oh, they're connected. Oh, see, they grow together. So you should take your stuff out of the bag when you get it, because this is what happens. You keep it in a dark space. I didn't do that. But so basically what you want to do, and I'm going to take the camera for a second. And you're going to fill up your bag so that you have, here's a bag that's already filled up. So there's just a few inches. I should put a glove on. I'm not organized. So, all right. So as you can see, there's only about like 2 or 3 inches. There's the bottom of the bags right here. I only have about 2 inches, 2.5 inches of soil in there, and that's all you need to start. So,
You want one?
yes. So you take your pretty seed potato and you stick this in the soil. Let's just cover that up. We're going to get that all covered up. And in a bag this size, I forgot how many gallons this technically is, but I would put but you're not supposed to swear.
It was French. Merde. Look, we are bilingual. For you Canadians.
Put about 4, maybe 5, depending upon the size of the seed potato. Now, there's out there in the internet world, and just like everywhere else, some people like to cut their seed potatoes. You want to have a good eye or two. This is at least one really good eye, so I'm not going to cut that. I don't cut my seed potatoes. I did a few years ago, but I didn't really like the results. Here's one that's got a whole bunch of different eyes and stuff. So, and this is actually a seed potato that it was harvested last year from our potatoes. We had, I forgot how many pounds of potatoes we harvested, but we landed up, I made plenty of soup, and we store some of our potatoes depending upon the variety of potato. That's the other nice thing. Some potatoes store better than others. Yukon Gold and Kennebec
Gold
are good, sturdy. Those potatoes are, I think they call them long day, or they're late season, so they take longer to.
These things look like little crabs trying to crawl in there. They're kind of creeping me out.
But and then you have your fingerling potatoes, which are the little ones. You have early potatoes. These are some of the potatoes I ordered. Are what they're calling gourmet potatoes. This is called Princess Lorette.
A friend of mine was married to Princess Loretta. Shout out if you're out there, Loretta. Sorry, Craig.
So, and what was the other variety? What are you cutting open? Do you know?
Potato Red Sonia.
Red Sonia. So, I wish I knew what Red Sonia was about, but I don't. All I know is when I read the catalog or was on the internet reading about them, I probably got very hungry and decided, I could cook some soup or make a dish with that. And that's basically how
potato soup.
How we decide on what we're going to grow. So, most
of our potatoes wound up as potato soup, actually.
Yeah, we like potato soup.
Oh, it's so good.
So once you have that all covered up, in a few weeks, you'll see the greens, as Mark was talking about earlier. And that looks great and everything, and you let the greens come up to about another 2.5, 3 inches, and then you bury them, so that they're covered enough, and there's like another 2 inches of soil on top of that, because when potatoes are growing, they're actually growing off of the tuber that develops. This kind of, at the end of the day, this thing gets all like shriveled up and there's nothing left to it, because all the development's gone into the root, and the new potatoes spring off of that. And in the potato sacks, it's great because they have plenty of room.
These are called yellowfin.
Ooh, yellowfin.
Dun dun dun.
Sounds like a nice buttery, creamy potato. Some potatoes, it's so beautiful when you cut them open. They look like they've already got butter on them, but they don't, and they're just so creamy. It's delicious. You threw me off. I was saying something about the covering up your potato.
Covering them up.
Yeah. Oh, so also the other thing you can do once your sack is all filled up. So there's no. In the potato sacks, it's very easy. They have plenty of room to develop. You're adding the soil. You want to add a nice, rich kind of compost or aged manure. They love that. You want it to be moist. But you don't want it to be too wet. There's a fine line, because a friend of ours said his tubers came out all wet, and that meant that there was just some drastic overwatering probably going on.
Or bad drainage.
Oh, that's exactly it. It was bad drainage as well.
especially if you have hard soil, if you got clay or something. And that's another reason that
Drainage.
growing in raised beds and the bags like this, you have so much more control. And the nice thing about the bags is, when you've got them out in the field, it's more of it's a tough Easter egg hunt. You've got to dig up the furrows and look and look. With these things, we just turn them over onto a. Oops. Getting old, can't stand up.
Yeah, these are great to grow if you have kids or grandkids, because if you want to get them interested in learning how to grow their own food, harvesting these. So Mark made, I don't know if you can see, but that's hardware cloth there. It's kind of our own little sifter. And
So we just pour them out onto this.
And the dirt goes through. We reuse the dirt. We fill in parts on our property, the holes that need to be done. We throw some back into the compost and replenish it for the next season. Mayflies have discovered us, and it's just simple.
Daphne, if you're out there, that was for you. You said you wanted more props.
So, that's basically it. I mean, I highly recommend, if you've never grown potatoes, to give it a try sometime. This is the time of year that you would start growing potatoes, and one of the ways that there's nature has a way of sending us natural signs on how to
Sorry,
remember.
I'm bleeding apparently.
How to remember when to grow things. And so what is my natural sign that I'm always looking for when I'm like, okay, it's time for me to grow potatoes?
Moon phase.
No. Come on, you know what it is. What was I talking about the other day that came up?
We were talking about all the different types of things. What was potatoes?
Dandelions?
Dandelions.
Dandelions.
I know peas are St. Patrick's Day. Generally, tomatoes are Mother's Day.
And Halloween. What do we plant in Halloween?
Onion and garlic.
Onions and garlic. So let's see if anybody, can you post one of our potato soup recipes? Yes, absolutely. We'll post one of our potato soup recipes. I love potato soup. We make tons of potato soup and we freeze it and we enjoy it all winter long.
It's thick and creamy and there's no cream in it at all.
Yeah, no, so it's delicious, which is why I keep growing potatoes. And I love growing potatoes so much that I land up with 21 sacks.
Yeah, but before you think the potato soup is too healthy, we like to garnish it with some crispy bacon and a little cheddar cheese grated too. So
who wouldn't? That's how you eat potato soup. So
that's how you eat potato soup.
Join us again this Thursday for Q&A Thursday, where we answer questions from our Facebook friends and followers and Instagram as well, or whoever. Send us your questions. We'd love to help you learn about how to grow your own food and learn to live a more sustainable lifestyle. Check our Facebook page out.
Homegrown
Check us out
potatoes.
on Instagram.
What would life be without
Check us out on
homegrown
Pinterest.
potatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown potatoes.
Have a great week, everybody.
And tomatoes.
Thanks for stopping by, and we hope you learned something today.